And we are live. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's so nice to be back for a lit stream. It's me, Grunk Chocolate. I'm here with my show, bro, Sharpie Charlie. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, man. You know, we were talking a little bit pre-pod, pre-live, and I was like, I'm just here. But you know what? I'm happy because you're back. My
I'm
man's is
back.
back. First lit stream in 2 weeks.
It was weird. It was weird.
I know. For you, that's a long time, my boy.
I know, 2 weeks out. Whoa. It was very weird. I mean, shout out to y'all for holding things down. It was fun. So the Wi-Fi to England worked. The Wi-Fi back from England, not so great. But it was very fun being able to watch y'all through, be the fan for the once. Like, enjoy, leave the comments. Y'all are holding it down. It was a great conversation, and I'm just happy to be back. We have a wonderful show for you. So got a little Casamigos. I haven't really been wanting to drink, but
Okay.
this match today, I knew it was gonna be bad. I knew it was gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting it acknowledging injuries, acknowledging it was Chelsea at home. They do feel inevitable at times. But watching the match, it felt like a crumble. It felt like a disintegration. It felt like they are over the season already. And it did not feel nice. It did not feel nice.
It's hard to, like, my favorite saying, context is everything. When you think about this being the fourth match in 13 days or 12 days, whatever, and you're depleted. It's not like you were in the first one or even the second one, right? When we won, where you had your guns, you know, as much as you could. Now you're like, wait, everybody's hurt. Like, the fact you're missing two attackers, a defender, a midfield, like, it's so much, like you said, and you have a team that has been the best. And I tried to have hope on the pod, and like you clipped it, and I was grateful. But like I know what I said on our first like watch along with Andre, and when the 12 podcast you should follow and watch when they popped on, and it was like, yeah, we're probably gonna lose 3 of these. Like, I did not have hope at the start of the month or the start of this run, and so this is how the cookie crumbles.
And the cookie crumbled. Yes, it did.
A whole lot of crumbs, all the crumbs. Left no crumbs. No, we have all the crumbs. We literally did not eat. We did not eat at all.
And we have a wonderful show for you. We got the homie Vince. We got two first timers on the list stream for you. Super excited. Amelia Lopez. She is the show bro to a good friend of ours, Eugene Rapinski. And he's always spoke highly of her. And finally, and that's what we like, recommendations, basically, when people are just like, hey, this person's great, you should get to know them. And here we are. And then Ivan Ornelas, like he's on spring break, he's vibing right now, so I'm happy. He could be doing all kinds of other things. He could be getting to some mischief right now, but he's gonna be hanging out with us, so that's nice. That's great. I appreciate that. But it's about time to bring our first guest on. Shout out Boots on the Ground. Shout out Scuff Podcast. US WMT USMT stand up. I was trying to think. I was like, I probably should have ended with the women, said the men last, and honestly, I probably should have whispered the men. But we got. Hold on, I see him working on some things, so I'm gonna fill a little bit. He is. We did a great episode of Chopping It Up on our Patreon. It was a very fun conversation. The first 10 minutes was basically just like, I forgot how dope you are, man. I forgot how dope you were. It was a lot of black men being vulnerable, showing each other love, and that's what we need in this world, So Shady, give it up for the legend.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
What up? Real chill with it. Real chill.
He always is.
Yo, nah, bro called me. I'm like, hold on. I'm sitting there. I'm up here watching the tournament, chilling on the couch.
Hey,
I see I got a Twitter DM. I'm like, hold on, what's going on?
Hey,
Crunk said you
madness.
coming. I said, I forgot. My bad, though. My bad.
It's the madness,
man. March
You're
Madness.
a busy dude. Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. What's good with y'all?
Not much, man.
I want to jump right in, bro. Like you said, you want to college. What you think about for March Madness? Who you got?
I'm a Kentucky fan.
Oh, okay, Big Blue, BBN.
I'm a Kentucky fan. So you know what I'm saying, we play tomorrow. We got Tennessee. We haven't already beat Tennessee twice this year. I think it's gonna be a third. I don't think they match up well with us. So
yeah, it's tough.
So we'll see what's going on. Mark Pope, the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? His first year.
Hey, that's a good breakup for both sides. Kyle left. He happy in Arkansas. They in the Sweet 16. Y'all happier.
It ended up good for both sides. Yeah, it ended up good for both sides. But I mean, yeah, it had to happen. It had to happen. I've been saying Kyle probably needed to go for about 4 years now, bro. And like everybody acting like we pushed the man out, but it's like, bro, we ain't been to a Sweet 16 since 2019.
He pushed himself out.
That's crazy.
2019, bro. We ain't won a tournament game in 4 years. Like, come on, bro. This is University of Kentucky.
And I'm saying that's crazy, but I y'all might as well be speaking Cantonese. So hey, it's
look, basically Kentucky is the man city.
Well, I mean, I know Kentucky, but I just like I'm not tapped into college basketball for quite some time.
The people,
yeah. Like I know the names, but like the players, who's on who's coaching who, all that.
But you notice we didn't mention any players' names because all we care about is what the name on the front of the shirt. Okay, that's all. Like the badge in soccer. Like all you care about is your team. The players come and go, but those colors, goddamn it, they don't run.
And also living in Iowa, like our teams are always trash.
Hawkeyes, yeah.
And like the vibes just aren't the best there also. So it's just like, at least with a certain player, they were somewhat successful. But even then is watching from outside, you have a lot of people hating on them, rightfully so. And then in the area, you have a bunch of people either like fake paying attention or their vibes are kind of nefarious, where they're just like, the whole grit and determination, and they just want it more, that type of vibes. And I was like, oh, I can't even like, I don't want to push that narrative. I don't want to support that narrative. Well, once they get to we're in you said Sweet 16 now, so I guess I'll start tapping in. Yeah. I'll start tapping in. Yeah.
Look, Duke, Florida tonight. Duke, Arizona after this. It'll be worth it. Always good to root against Duke.
That's fair. Well, I want to talk about this U.S. men's team.
Let's go ahead and do it, man. This is why Crunk, when you reach out, you give the dates. I'm like, okay, this right here, this gonna be the week after the window. So whatever's gonna be there to talk about, I'll be here to talk about it. So this is why I'm here, baby.
And on my way back, I listened to the episode of upscuffed of you guys kind of talking about everything and what's going wrong. I I even watched Pochettino's post-match presser and him kind of like talking about what he's seeing. And from what I got, all right, what I took in from everything. Oh, I see a Tom. Oh, he just hi, friend. No, okay, I'm just gonna let him handle his. Even Landon Donovan kind of like tweeted at them. It just really seems like, and it's tough saying they don't care, but it's like it really does feel like there's no sense of urgency from them.
Correct. There's a lot of things that went on, right? There's a lot of things that went on in this window, and it's all coming to a head. Everyone's kind of being a little over dramatic. I'm not gonna say over dramatic because, like, the World Cup is in about 12 months, 15 months. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So we gotta get down to business. But a lot of people are acting like these dudes ain't did nothing before. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, well, look at this so-called most talented generation, blah blah blah. Like they ain't been through a World Cup. They ain't advanced. They ain't. You know what I'm saying? Now, I am not saying that I'm not trying to make no excuses or nothing. Like these boys was them boys was ass. Them boys was ass. There's a lot going on. If I really had to the assiest of the ass to me was Mauricio Pochettino.
Oh,
because like he's just bro.
Because he got that Tottenham stank on him.
But that might be it, bro. He did a lot of wild shit this window. He did a ton of wild shit, and I'm just like, bro. Starting off with, I mean, I've been wanting to talk to y'all about this because I feel like y'all would know as much as anybody. My boy put Yunus Musa on the right wing.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And this is a crusade.
No.
It's a crusade I've been going through for I've been screaming this for the past 5 months. Because Conceição, the new Milan manager, Conceição actually fucks with Yunus heavy. And he's played him quite a bit ever since he's got there. And he's played him quite a bit in the midfield. But he likes him so much that sometimes when he's not in the midfield, he'll put him on the wing. And I'm like, yo, we got to stop this. This has been going back to Yunus' time at Valencia. Everybody wants to throw his man at the wing. We know what time it is. We've seen it time and time again.
Pace and power.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna see. You're not gonna see the Man City player that I think is a good Yunus Musa analog, Mateo Kovacic.
Oh gosh.
You're not gonna see. They're not gonna play Kova on the wing, even though they got a similar type skill set. You know what I'm saying?
That's stressful.
Yes, correct.
They got a very similar type skill set, and it's just like, bro, you setting him up for failure. So it's like, okay, he don't perform. Setting this man up for failure. He plays in the Panama match specifically. We set up in a 3-2-5. The back three is made up of Tim Ream, Chris Richards, and Joe Scally playing left back. Joe Scally's terrible on the ball. He's not good on the ball. We have Mark McKenzie on the bench. Mark McKenzie, and our whole thing was to play balls over top of their little compact 5-4-1 that they were playing. Joe Scally can't. We got Mark McKenzie. Mark McKenzie can dink that thing either foot, left foot, right foot, no problem. So it's just he did a lot of, and then also Tim Weah on the left. It's another thing. Poch is on some new age metaphysical mumbo jumbo. He's talking about this man plays Tim Weah on the left now because apparently he's right eye dominant. Tim Weah's whole national team career has been made off of him playing off the right wing, stretching the back line, doing all this different types of stuff. So
you said right eye dominant?
He's saying he's right eye dominant.
He's been hanging out with Aaron Rodgers, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
He's waiting for the
exactly.
He's waiting for the third.
Tom, you won't. Tom,
All I'm saying is when they got rid of Triple G, everybody was this. Oh my God, Greg Berhalter is gone. Woo!
Bro, and I've always been on the side, I'm not saying he was the best coach ever. And there was a clear drop when he came back for that second time. We weren't performing in the same way. But he got the team to perform, and he got he put out some shit that made sense. The MMA midfield, having Tyler Adams, Wes, and Yunus Moose in the midfield, that worked for us.
Cooked.
Since we went away from it, we really haven't looked the same since. But okay, I've given you all these reasons, but I do want to talk to y'all because the USMNT have like an issue with everyone wants Eunice to be something more than what he is. You know what I'm saying? Eunice is he's nice on the dribble. He's a nice ball carrier. He gonna move you from box to box, right? He gonna get you into that attacking third.
He's not a superstar.
He's not a super. You know, like how many years y'all been hearing people saying Kovacic need to add some goals to his game? Like that's just not. It's just not what it is, bro. It's not his ministry. It's not Eunice's ministry. It's not Kovacic's ministry. It's just let the man be great at what he's great at. Put him in the midfield. Like Eunice played 20 minutes in the midfield this whole camp. Anyway, man, I've been ranting, man. Y'all got any questions?
Yeah. So
okay, go ahead, Jarek.
So I hear you, but I want to play devil's advocate for a moment, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
This was Nations League, right? I don't know what the benefit of the Nations League is. This a World Cup qualifier?
No, this is just a made up tournament, man.
Okay, I didn't know if they were using it for World Cup qualifying or not, which we're already in, so it doesn't matter necessarily how we perform in this. But what will matter is how we perform when we get to the World Cup.
For sure.
So as a new manager working with players for the first time, is it more important to understand what I have and what people can do even out of position at times, so that when I get to the big games, when they do matter, I know what I got, as opposed to trying to figure it out then? Can I figure it out now with, to a certain extent, no repercussions? Because it doesn't really matter.
Right. Now, I'm not necessarily mad at it. Like I've looked at it from that perspective, and I think that is what he's doing, because there's no way you can like look at these decisions and tell me he's like playing these games like they are World Cup games.
Yeah, he's not playing to win necessarily. He's playing to learn.
And I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? He just got the job. He's had this is his third camp. Yeah, this is his third camp. He's still getting to learn to play a pool. And yeah, I'm cool with that. It just puts you on edge, right? So like now it's like, okay, with every camp that goes by and you can tell my man's like tinkering with stuff, well, it's like, okay, that's another camp down. And maybe on his perspective, he's like, okay, I've learned this, I've learned that. But you know, for me on the outside, it's like all I can see is, hey, we done lost in the Nations League. But like,
we're losing to teams that we shouldn't be losing to.
Right. And more than likely that is what he's doing. And so we just gotta kind of have faith in the process. But it's tough. You know, we got like 6 camps left. We got like maybe like 12 total games that can be played before the World Cup, something like that. So,
and that was something that Poch said, was basically trying to calm the fan base down, being like, don't be so disappointed in what has happened. Try to be more patient. He even said, hey, we've seen what they can do in the World Cup. They can do better when the competition comes. He's trying to tamper things down, but that really pissed people off. Basically, when he told them to don't be pessimistic, don't be so angry. Are you on the side of don't tell me what to do, Poch, or do you agree with him where it's like people do kind of need to slow the roll with this? Oh.
Bring me up.
Well, technical difficulties?
Yeah. But my computer died. When I ran downstairs, I left my charger. But anyway.
When man was frozen, it was like, I was like, damn, but this question only got him thinking.
He was deep in thought in that mug.
I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
I heard most of the question though, but hold on. I feel like you got to take it in as a whole, right? So it's like obviously he just got the job, but like he's coming in off the back of a Copa America failure, right? So it's like when you got the Copa America failure, you already got that. That's already in people's heads. And then we go out in this Nations League. It's the first time we done lost in the Nations League. Like this
Oh,
has been our tournament. We've won it every rendition there's been. It's just human nature that's gonna be like it's gonna become something in fans' minds. You know what I'm saying? And I have to say it's become something in my mind. You know, even as like I analyze it from the position that I do, and like I fully understand what's going on and what he's doing. The vibes are extremely low, and we need a pick me up. You know what I'm saying? And so we were hoping this tournament that's been the USMNT Invitational would be that, and it wasn't. So
yeah, to lose to Panama and then lose to Canada, it was pretty bad.
Fuck ass Jesse Marsh.
Bro,
Fuck ass Jesse Marsh. No, not
come on, Tom.
fuck ass Jesse Marsh.
He's had a forever beef with Jesse Marsh.
Me too.
Ever.
Me too. Maybe me and Tom locked in on this. Me and Tom locked in on this, man. I hate that, man. And you saw how much he hate the men's national team, bro. He said, "Hey," he walked into the training room, said, "Fonzie, we need you, bro, for a third place game."
Let me destroy
Man,
your
man.
career. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Man.
Okay. Okay.
Well, y'all should have hired him.
Before we get.
Mhm. What's
No,
up?
probably. Okay. And I might have missed this. Gio Reyna, does he just not got it? Is he like the one that was promised that is not living up to the promise, basically?
So, how far? Let me just answer this real quick. I know y'all gotta get more people on. Okay. So Gio, way back when he was that guy from 16 years old, right? He's making his debut in Champions League. He's getting an assist against PSG, right? Basically, I think in like 2021 when World Cup qualification first started, he left that camp with a hamstring injury. That led to a year like of hamstring injuries. Like he would be out for about 6 weeks, come back, he would come into a match, there'd be tears, and he'd be coming out the match again. Like it was crazy. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen recurrent hamstring issues like this. Just over and over. Like I'm talking about would get healthy again, quote unquote, get on the pitch, and immediately again he's hurt. So this went on for a year. And as you know, this coincided with the World Cup and became the whole scandal of like why ain't Greg playing Gio, all this. And then the parents, all that. Now, and the thing that we were hearing from behind the scenes was that Gio wasn't fit. You know, the little trackers they got in training. He hadn't registered a sprint in the whole camp. The entirety of camp. He hadn't registered a sprint. And basically, that's like his physical condition now. He can't run, bro. If you watch him play for Dortmund, like he can't run. He's nice. It's like, bro, you can give him the ball. You can give him the ball anywhere on the field. He's gonna keep it and do something with it. Like literally anywhere on the pitch, you can give him the ball, and he's gonna find something productive to do with it. It don't matter how tight the space is, etc., etc. But he can't move. And now we're hearing in camp that Poch sees him in camp and was like, nah, this ain't it. This little jogging you doing, it ain't it. And so it's just gonna keep continuing, bro, until I don't know what it is. I feel like his parents done gave him what's that what's that disease that the
Munchausen syndrome?
Bro, Munchausen by proxy. Munchausen by I feel like if you just kidnap the nigga, put a blindfold over him and just dropped him on the treadmill with the speed set at 13, and
He'd be
he just
fine.
and he just like instinctively started running, you'd be like, look, Gio, you can do it. You can.
Why your voice get higher?
You can't. But I think he went through that hamstring shit so much, and it was so traumatic to him that
Oh my God.
he just don't believe he got it in him, bro. Because Gio used to be like twitchy. He used
Mhm.
to he used to explode, like, bro. Like, you go watch some of his highlights from like when he was 17, 18. Like, it was a totally different athlete from what we're seeing now, bro. And now he just moves around like an old ass dude. Like, there was when I think Dortmund just played Lille, right, in Champions League. I
Yeah.
want to say.
Yeah.
And I think the first leg, there was like a little breakaway. Like, they done kicked the ball up to Garassi. Garassi's coming down the left sideline, and somebody gets in front of him, so like he stops. But like, you can see Gio just like jogging down the pitch, and it's like, bro, this man is crying out for an overlap. Like, somebody please overlap me, please. Gio just standing there like he's kind of getting to him, just like with his hands at his feet, like, come on, just pass it back to me, so I can recirculate the ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the 90th minute, bro. 1-1. We try and get a draw. I mean, we try and get a winner, but he just don't got it in him. So basically, until he finds himself, his physical fitness, bro, like it's gonna continue to be this with his club career and national team career.
Yikes. Okay. Well, before we get you out of here,
Last question. Just
Okay.
last question, real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
It sounds like Poch used this window a lot similarly to the way that Emma used
I knew you were
the
gonna
She
do this.
Believes Cup.
Right.
Do you think they had conversations about it? It's like, oh, we're gonna put them in pain caves.
I mean, you know, they friends or whatever. I guess it's just like I think hopefully the main thing Potts realized here is that, you know, the MNT player pool ain't the WNT player pool. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro done called up. Look, we had injuries, right? Like, I don't remember the last time we played a match without Anthony Robinson, right? I mean, probably our most important player. He calls up Max Arston from the crew, like some January camp dudes that he had just coached, and like I'm like, it got to be evaluation purposes for him to do all this. So hopefully you just check these dudes off your list, whatever. But yeah,
That's tough. Well, please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
All right. Yeah, I'm a member of the Scuff Podcast.
Let's go.
Twitter, Scuff Pod, Blue Sky, Scuff Pod at Blue Sky Social. Boots on the Ground, Boots Pod at Blue Sky Social, Boots Pod on Twitter. Yeah, we cover WNT on the Boots, MNT, Scuffed. That's it. I'll get off here. I'm sorry for being late, y'all.
Oh no, you're good, brother. You're always
All
good.
love,
You're always
boy.
good. We'll
Appreciate you,
definitely
bro.
have to link back up, and best of luck to your Kentucky boys.
Yeah, appreciate
it. See you, brother.
All right.
Hey, super excited for our next guest. I just saw the topic, and it starts with Arsenal. I thought I avoided an Arsenal. Which is like, cool, this is gonna be good. I guess the show when we finally don't have to talk about Arsenal. But here we are once again talking about Arsenal. I'm just kidding. I'm very bitter. Shout out to Treb. He joined us for the watch along, and he's an Arsenal fan. And he brought proper chaos. I'm just really upset. You know, hurt people. I apologize.
Hurt people, in fact, hurt people.
Shady gang for the first time. Give it up for Amelia Lopez. Hey,
Hello. I to be honest, I feel a little guilty. I'm in a good place in so many different levels, and you guys are down bad. I'm like, I'm not matching your energy at all today.
Why are you so happy, Amelia? What's all this joy for? Please tell us why you're so happy.
No. I want to join in. Very, very productive. I'm sad I'm here because I just wanted to keep hearing Vince say whatever he needed to say. So I'm both sad, but also honored to be here on this pod right now. But I agree with Charlie, who said you need to respect your team. No, I'm paraphrasing at this point. You said you love my losers no matter what.
Yeah, love the
Yeah.
And I
losers.
think that should be the theme of CONCACAF. Okay, because you guys are over here. You guys are over here complaining about USMNT being down bad. You guys sound like Mexico fans last year, and I'm here to tell us all, guys, we're all trash. Okay, we are on the world
Thank you.
level.
Thank
Real
you,
talk.
Amelia.
Real
We
talk.
don't
World
matter.
level, we
in the
are
grand
all
scheme of life.
trash. All right, we are that meme of the 2 trash cans falling down the street in the rain. Okay, so let us just have fun next year, because that's
So
it.
just enjoy the time.
Just vibes, next, and barely too in the political climate that we live in. You know,
That's
like,
You
facts.
can't even enjoy it the
That's
same way.
facts.
You can't.
So,
We're fucked. We're also
just
fucked.
and also I would like to say that you guys are justifiably able to be upset with what happened. There's so many things that are going on with you guys right now. Nobody's going to your games either. That's the other part too. You ain't got nobody in the stands. Nobody.
No,
But
that's bad.
that might
because we stopped playing games in Ohio, and that's apparently the only way that we can get fans in the stands.
I don't know what the price is, but if you charge an arm and a leg, I mean, at some point people's gonna stop going. Why am I paying that much money and we losing?
And it's a friendly. It doesn't matter. Like, that's where people have to, like Vince was saying, right? You can't expect matches that don't matter. People aren't stupid. We know there's no qualification, Tarek, right? We know we're into the tournament. So unless you're talking about playing in 2026, like those friendlies, I bet those are going to be popping. Right?
I do. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I do think that there's a narrative to be had about, like, it's so close to the World Cup, what's gonna happen. But it's like, guys, it's a World Cup. Like, things will be fine. And if people don't show up, it's not because of you. It's because of the laws that are gonna probably be implemented in the next couple of years, in the next couple of months. It's not gonna be your fault.
They're
The
talking about
price tag.
Iran might not even be, like, they just qualified this week, and they might not even be able to come over for the tournament.
So I do think that World Cup buzz is real. I think that people start obviously caring once the calendar flips and people care. Where it is a cause of concern that consistently nobody shows up to the games. I think Pulisic, like a year and a half ago or something, talked about like real fans or whatever quote he ended up saying about people not being in the stands.
Yeah.
But it's not anything new. I know it's always a talking point, but it's not anything new for USMNT. Like, it's very consistent, and that's a larger problem to have. But I understand why they bring it up so close to the World Cup. I also think that fans will be there for the World Cup. People do care enough about the World Cup, so I think you guys will be fine. I think you guys might have a JCO situation where maybe Poch is actually plotting just for 26 and doesn't really care much about it. But I agree with what you guys said earlier, where it does look bad that it is against Panama, and it's 2 times in a row after Copa America. And now you guys are here. But at the end of the day, we're not doing. Neither one of us is winning the World Cup. So like, what are we really getting angry about? Who are we really mad at here?
But it's what you're trying to avoid. Oh, sorry, just real quick. You're trying to avoid a changing of the guard, right? For many years, Mexico always beat the U.S. men's national team. It didn't matter.
Not always.
And then we've started to win more now, and so you kind of go into those games expecting to win. Canada, on the other hand, has started beating us more regularly now, and so it's like, who's the big dog in the region now? It might mess around and be Canada.
Yeah, but then Canada doesn't do anything at the World Cup, with all due respect. Like,
agreed.
So that's what I'm saying. We're all just here. Like, let's just.
It's a big mid off. It's a lot. It's
100%. That's what I'm trying to say.
Greatness from mid countries.
It's battle of the
mid. So what you're saying is that it'll probably be somebody like Panama or some
Costa
other,
Rica,
like Costa Rica, that probably gets to like the quarterfinals from CONCACAF, where everybody else basically just gets.
No. I'm saying the entire region, all the countries, they all suck. Like, we watch a lot of football, right?
I think that
we know what this is.
I think CONCACAF should be proud of itself as a region. And that's what maybe that's what the glory is, the glory of being like, who is a solid CONCACAF team. But when it gets into this larger discussion, I mean, I would say I would say Mexico at some point did have those closer moments in recent years, maybe not 22 or I think 18 was like, oh, maybe we could do it. 2014 obviously is what it is. But I like it is just it's too long of a trajectory. I think the US is more talented as a team than Mexico, like on paper. I think everybody's in agreement with that. Like player for player, I think there's a more promising potential in the players. But when you really get down to it, it's going to take a lot for us as a region to really do anything on the international stage, and I think that's a problem with the discourse, is that that's where it goes. But I also think you guys are completely valid in your feelings of like, well, if you're not even beating the teams in your region, what are you going to do next year? It's tricky.
So
I'm sorry, because we don't even care. Like, we do care, but Mexican national team discourse is like, okay, but how important is Nations League? Because it is a glorified kind of, it can be a glorified thing. I think it's still a fun tournament to have. Obviously, from my very biased opinion, it's awesome to see so many fans in the stands for Mexican national team games. And then when they win, it's like, that's really, really cool. But there's the Gold Cup, and then of course there's 2026 to look forward to.
From an FMF fan standpoint, like, is there like a sadness that you like in like this window that you don't run up against the US, or is it more of like a sigh of relief, or is it just like, yeah, we don't care?
I mean, I do think that you are interested in. I think I agree with what Tariq just said, where Canada going up against Canada was an interesting place to also be. And there's a lot of pressure for Mexico right now, right? Just in general, it's been a bad, just like you guys were going to talk about the USMNT. It's been a bad couple of times, particularly in the Nations League. Like, this is the first time Mexico has ever won it. It's a tournament for what it is, but we never lifted the trophy. So Canada has also been on this upward trajectory. You have to beat Canada just to get to a final, and then you find out that the U.S. lost to Panama. I do think there's a part where that's like, oh, that's kind of not fun, because there is this excitement to beat your rival, but that's U.S.'s problem, because we were responsible for our part to make it to the final, and then you're up against Panama again, who did show this heart. Obviously, went viral for their moment with Titi. You're just like Mexico's issue was not only were they just not working on the field, very similar to what you guys were talking about earlier, there didn't seem to be this character from them on the field. It didn't, like, not that they didn't care, but there was this like, where's the passion? Where is the passion to want to play for the national team? That happened with Mexico too. So you beat Canada, cool. You beat them well. Now you're going to go up against Panama, who is very passionate, has just shown how passionate they are in the semifinal. Can you match up with it? And so I think there was pressure from Mexico in very different ways. That, yeah, maybe there's a little bit less pressure because you're not facing the U.S., so you're not going to have that chip on your shoulder that if you lose, once again, you lost to the U.S. But there were other factors that I think fans and, reporters and all that did kind of, we're judging them based on that they delivered, but then comes this new round of expectations after Nations League to, okay, can you do this in the Gold Cup? And can you do this obviously for 26?
The Tariff Cup, that's what that was. I want to talk about
sir.
What? What? I want to talk about Washington Spirit a little bit, especially because the season has just begun, and I see your Go Spirits. Shout out to them. How are you feeling about their chances and, Becca Bernardo?
Well, I'm not from LA,
okay.
but obviously have a lot of good friends. Hey Spirits Pod, obviously, with all of them, we've been on the show. I'm particularly excited for Rebecca Bernal because she is coming from the Liga MX Femenil. She's basically like a homegrown Liga MX Femenil player, and so I think she's done really well. I think there was like nervousness, not because she's not capable of meeting the expectations, but there was nervousness to see, can she live up to the aggressiveness and just the high-paced pace of what the NWSL is. And I think so far she has. Challenge Cup comes in, subs on, protects helps the team on the field. scores her PK in the penalty shootout, and then these last 2 games for the Spirit for the season, she's also been doing really well. So I know, the Hay Spirits folks and all the rest of the NWSL experts like Andre and everybody else, they're also like, yeah, she's really delivering, and I see how she fits into, Washington Spirit's back line. So that's been really cool to see for sure.
Listen, she helped keep Tim Chewinga off the score sheet for 93 minutes.
I know. It was, they did well.
Yeah, like, and then Tim Chewinga does what Tim Chewinga does. I actually want to talk transition from Rebecca Bernal to her national team in the Mexican women's national team. I know that they have a set of friendlies coming up against Jamaica, and I know that 2023 was a little bit of a disappointing year in that, like, I think we were talking about that CONCACAF pride, like, that the men should have, and I think that you kind of saw that in how many CONCACAF teams got into the tournament on the women's side, but like it was also very shocking that Mexico was not one of those teams, and it was also really shocking too that Mexico retained their manager after that. Like, was that, at least from the outside, that was kind of a shock? Like, is that something that's shocking to you?
Oh yeah, it was a huge disappointment. It was a huge disappointment for them not to qualify. The qualifiers were in Monterrey. It was at home. There was so much buzz around it. There were so many of us who followed the Liga MX Femenil who, I think in retrospect, and obviously hindsight is 2020, I do think that it might have been too early to expect so much from them. Of course, that doesn't excuse the fact that there were just so many slots available for them. There was a playoff round, for crying out loud. They could have, right. There's so many ways that they could have made it to the World Cup, and they just unfortunately didn't. There was a lot of other behind the scenes stuff that came out afterward. Monica Vergara obviously got relieved from her duties, on top of like a few other people within the Mexican soccer structure. That it was a huge, but to go back to the point, it was a huge disappointment for them not to make it. We saw Panama with Martha Cox, make this really huge buzz against France in the World Cup. And you just saw these little moments from CONCACAF teams making it. Haiti also, qualified. There were just so many cool moments that when you realize the very obvious, like Mexico is not there, like it does leave kind of a sore spot as a fan. But then I think as a region, you definitely were like, oh, there was, despite them maybe not being at the level they should have been on the field, there was a lot of buzz for who these players are, and it still continues, right? There is a lot of.
I was like, what is happening? Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Like, what is going on?
He's like, are you safe?
That's extremely detailed, thorough answer.
A little home improvement. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
I was like, I just want to make sure that you are okay.
That's West Coast, Best Coast life. It's working out.
I'm in one of the offices right now, and I have no idea what just happened. That was very strange.
Blink twice if you with us.
I am fine. Okay. I think the building is also really upset that Mexico didn't qualify to the 2020.
That's what it is.
I don't know. There's no tornadoes in California, but you never know. Global warming's doing crazy things. Something can happen. No, but I think that there's a lot of what is going on. I'm so upset right now.
We literally get anything on the lit stream.
That's what I was about to say.
Hey, this is okay. We're here.
No, it's funny that this is now the most memorable thing compared to Vince's like super like just quick changing of the screen, crashing. horror movie, single camera, just walking around his house.
Oh, I love this. That was great. What a night.
Yeah, anyway, but yeah, no, I think that I think the momentum has continued to grow. We're now looking at 27. There was a few talks that maybe Mexico, the US would try to do like a bid host for that one too. Obviously, logistically, it didn't work out, but there is this. I like how we all just kind of like accepted that happened and moved on and have allowed me to talk, by the way. Thank you so much. What is yours? I'm fine. But yeah, so I think there's a lot of buzz for 27. I think even what we were talking about, like players making their way to like the NWSL, and hopefully there's more to come within the next 2 years, will create more momentum and excitement for them to qualify, because they still have to qualify for 27. I think there were some talks inside and even outside from fans being like, if they host, that means they automatically get a qualification. I was like, let's try to not do that to ourselves. Like, yes, it's a very easy thing to do, but I think 27 being in Brazil does put a little momentum. I know I
A little home improvement.
I was gonna say they're tearing
This is the
down
metaphor for
walls.
CONCACAF soccer. This is what CONCACAF soccer is all going through on all sides. Everybody's trying to rebuild, remodel. Look, what's that show, Home Improvement? That's what we're doing over here in this side of the world. While Europe and South
Tim
America
the Tool
keep
Man.
together.
Come on.
Yeah,
He's trying to
it's
rebuild.
tool time here in the Americas. And
Okay.
all of them.
The thing that sucks is that I don't know when it's gonna happen next. So I'm just...
That is like
Anyway,
PTSD settling in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done. Does anybody have another question before
That's funny.
Do you think that this is a good matchup for Mexico, like playing these two friendlies against Jamaica? I'm still kicking myself for not applying for the press pass for the Mexico Jamaica match here in Kansas City. I was sick this weekend, and the deadline was Monday, and I completely spaced it out.
Sounds like an excuse.
I mean,
Tell him, accountability buddy. Let's go.
I mean, like I could have actually like asked Bunny Shaw a question, and no, I just said nah.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell my children. So, what did we learn from this experience? What can we do better?
As soon as you find out, do it.
What will we do better the next time around?
We will do it immediately.
There we go.
Now we get parenting lessons.
I was gonna say,
episode, bro.
Terry's proud right now.
well, I was gonna say, I've heard them stories. It sounds like something a teacher would say too. Teacher, parent, it's all the same. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I think going up against Japan is going to be really good. They just came back from the Pinatar Cup, which was overseas in Spain, and I think playing against the teams I think traveling, first of all, having those friendlies is always beneficial for them, and I think now playing with Japan and Jamaica, also in a place that they're going back to Houston, but they've never played in Kansas City, so that's going to be a really cool. I think that the more experiences, the better. I think the last, maybe 2.5 years, maybe even 3, you're finally having a consistency that we have never seen for the Mexican women's national team. I think on the pod, on the Our Football pod, I think all of 2020, they had like no activity, and so to go from that to now we're having these consistent matches, obviously having them be Mextor W, because it's a part of the partnership that Mexico has with Soccer United Marketing. So they are having at least 2 games a year in the US. I think is just super beneficial, and will obviously give Pedro more opportunities to see what players he needs to play in, and also gives the young players who have been shining for the national team, but also with their clubs, somebody like Montserrat, somebody like Ali Soto, somebody like Fatima Servin. I think all this ends up working, is definitely going to help them in the long run for sure.
Speaking of Our Football pod, before we get you out of here, I'm going to ask you the same thing that I asked Eugene when he was on last. Is Pachuca for real?
That's my thing this year, Tom. Like, that is me. That's all I'm going to commit to. That is the only thing. It's downstairs. I figured it out. They're doing something downstairs. The guy also believes in Pachuca, but yes. I hope so.
Okay. Well, before we get you out of here, I do want you to plug yourself, let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
And before this, whoever's making
just power through. We got it.
Go ahead and follow Our Football. I want to plug Our Football as much as possible. We're really trying to do good stuff over there. So on Blue Sky, on Instagram, Our Football Pod. We're always just talking Mexican women's football, soccer, and just if you want to, I'm at Sec Amelia on every social that you can find.
Let's go. And this year, Eugene actually helped me choose FC Juarez as the club I wanted to support.
There we go. Yeah. I like that. I like an outlier just support.
Yep, and that's what I wanted to do. It was when I thought my team would be winning trophies all over the place. I was like, I need a team, that I can enjoy, that has like character and fun.
I want to stay a little humble. Let me find
it. But hey, City's doing that for me. So here we
I was
are.
like, Angel
Really
City
humbled.
wasn't enough, Trump. Angel
That's
City
true.
wasn't enough.
That's
Like,
true. I do see that Angel City flag right behind you.
Yeah, we don't talk about them.
You want to talk about rebuilding? They haven't even got on the permits yet for that.
Facts. Oh man. But thank you for coming on. We will definitely have you back on again, and hopefully construction is
I will make sure that is not happening.
No.
thanks, Amelia.
Thank you
Have a
guys
good rest
so
of your
much.
night. Yeah,
Bye.
see ya. Oh man, that was hilarious. Oh, yeah, Chivas is a good team. All right, last guest of the show, Shady Gang, another first timer on. We shout out to Blue Sky, another amazing person that I've been able to connect with through Blue Sky. Been chatting back and forth in the DMs. He's had a nice little hearty heart. He brought me a little chuckle while I was miserable watching our city women do whatever it was that they were doing today. Shady Gang, please give it up. Bryden, what's up, my guy?
Hi, between all my teams with Chivas, with Oakland Roots, San Jose Earthquakes, and of course that other Manchester team, I have a lot of practice with coping, so I had to spread the
What's your biggest, like, how do we do it? Like, we're new to this here. What's the big thing that gets you through? Like, what's the best dose of copium?
For me, I'm just into a lot of different things with sports, video games, reality TV. So if I can make comparisons, I know one of the topics was comparing your soccer team with other sports teams, but I could also get a little bit creative with, other mediums. Like I'm just thinking, okay, this is like Indigo League Ash Ketchum. This is my soccer league. It's like, okay, like my teams, maybe we'll get to the playoffs, but we're not going to go far. We're not going to win trophies like in 2024, 2025.
I love that though. I love that. Well, and yeah, you weren't kidding with the teams. San Jose Earthquakes, Bay FC, Oakland Roots. Like,
yeah, Bay FC though they've been doing pretty well. The second goal against Racing Louisville, that was incredible.
Banger.
Yes.
And and the only reason that I can't immediately give it goal of the week for NWSL is because the goal that Jordan Bugg scored for Seattle Reign was also a banger.
Fair enough. Great start to the NWSL season. And great start to the USL season, too. I was at the Oakland Roots home opener at the Coliseum. 26,575 people showed up. Some of them maybe for the Too Short concert at halftime, but a lot of them cheering on the Oakland Roots.
What's my favorite song?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, was that a record, Ivan?
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere. Justin Rasmussen, he scored a goal in the 7th minute. San Antonio scored in the 5th minute, but the response from the Oakland Roots was immediate through a bicycle kick. Fortunately, we lost 2-1, but it was a good first game in the Coliseum and just brought back a lot of childhood memories for me. My first ever sporting event was at an Oakland A's game with my dad. So being able to continue those memories, albeit with soccer, I'll take it.
So of all those teams that you listed, like what was the first team that you fell in love with?
For me, in terms of club soccer, it was Manchester United. Watching David Beckham and then Chicharito. So 2000s, 2010s. My first memories with soccer was the 2006 World Cup, and then that got me a little bit interested. And then I remember 2010 was like the first World Cup that I watched like most matches. I knew a lot of the players. I studied them. I played FIFA, and then 2014 and onward, I felt like, okay, I know what's going on. I know which teams are good. I know which teams may be primed to make that next step. And then, just being a part of that journey with the U.S. men's national team. My family is Mexican, come from Jalisco, so that's why for Liga MX, I'm a Chivas fan. So I do follow both, national teams. Whenever they play, it's just like, okay, just keeping to myself, it's a win-win. But I'm gonna keep it real. Like if one team wins and the other team loses, I'll celebrate, the team winning, but I'll also critique. Okay, this is what this team's got to do better. Okay, we lost this time. This is what we got to do, because both those teams are a big part of my identity.
Yeah, I love that. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, while we have you here, we have another United fan here. Do you? Because I have started. It's very fun to laugh at United, of course, especially as City fans. And the beginning of Amram, well, technically the beginning of Amram's stay
You don't have to talk about it.
United
You don't have to talk about it.
was decent, but it fell down. But I will admit, what was their last match? I was watching it. Oh yeah, it was the win against well, it wasn't their last match because it was Leicester City, but also that match as well. Yeah. But it was specifically their game against Real Sociedad that I was sitting in the airport, and a moment, I'm pretty sure I even skeeted it. I was like, am I seeing progress? Are like Højlund appeared to be like hustling and making good decisions. Xerxes looks like he's like gotten a little more like match fit. There are things that I'm seeing from the club. Like I had less opportunities to kind of like laugh at them, and it did look like they're taking the chances. Am I crazy? Are you, as someone who pays attention to the team as well, like are you seeing progress happening with them? Are you starting to see Amram's vision?
Yeah, for me, at this point, it's not how you start, because the start to the season is irredeemable. It's been crap. It's how you finish. And I'm hoping that through that performance that they had against Real Sociedad, Bruno Fernandes just taking over the game, Højlund being involved, and even like newcomers. You got Patrick Dorgu, who was our January signing at right wing back, or left wing back in this game. And then Aiden Heaven, 18 years old, coming through the academy. I think that there's going to be a positive momentum going into next season. You still want to try to claw as high as you can in the Premier League table. We're not qualifying for Europe based on Premier League position, but the table position is still very disappointing. Obviously, 13th in the league. There was a time where third in the league was considered, by Alex Ferguson standards, not great. So 13th, no, okay. But the good news is that middle of the table, it's still fluctuating so much, just like the battle for Europe in the Premier League. So we'll see. Top half, I think that's about as high as it can go for the Premier League. And right now, all the chips are in the Europa League, just trying to keep winning against the remaining good teams that are left. Almost only good teams, I feel, with the Europa League. Lyon is our next opponent, and right now they're playing like a team that they don't care what's going on with their financial situation, who's getting sold in the summer, what the status of that club is. They're finishing out the season. They're looking like a tough team. So I think that there's still a lot of pressure from Manchester United, for Ruben Amorim, to at least, if they can win the Europa League, that's another Band-Aid, just like the FA Cup was last season that kept Erik ten Hag for a little bit longer. And speaking of former Manchester United managers / assistant managers, Ruud van Nistelrooy surprisingly still with the job after Leicester. It's been horrible for Leicester. I wish you best of luck, Ruud van Nistelrooy, with wherever you end up next, because it's only a matter of time.
Do you worry about, like, I think you spoke to the FA Cup basically like saving Ten Hag's job. Do you worry that if Amorim and United go on a big push and do qualify or do end up winning Europa, that then all of the heads at Ineos will kind of have the same groupthink that saved Ten Hag's job, and then it'll come around and then bite him? It's like, oh, Amorim's not the guy. Or is it more of a like a Amorim could be the guy, but we're not giving him enough support, like supporting players and money that he needs?
Yeah, I think right now we're still in the point where we need to give Amorim a little bit more time. You need a summer window, that's for sure. With January, getting a player like Patrick Dorgu from Lecce, that's a good player, but that's usually the best kinds of moves you can swing, unless you have some Jedi mind trick like PSG getting Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. That was a wild January move. That was like Fernando Torres, Luis Suarez types of January moves from back in the 2010s. So, but summer is where the action happens, and it's going to be a chaotic summer. I feel like we have the Club World Cup with 32 teams. We got the Gold Cup. So I know that Premier League mentioned that they're going to modify their transfer window so that there can be a little bit more movement to accommodate for that World Cup. It's just like it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of moves can be made. But right now, I've kind of accepted that this has been a very tough season, very strange season, but I like where things are going in the Europa League. I just hope that the Premier League can pick up the form because that's still the highest priority. You have to have a strong Premier League position. That's where a lot of the money is with the TV deals, and it's just a sense of pride. Like you're playing for Manchester United. You're a very respected club, at least historically, and it's about getting that respect back in even acknowledging that in this current Premier League setup that, you have new teams that are trying to shake up the foundation, Newcastle and Nottingham, as well as, the usual rich six.
Yeah. And even staying with that, still 13 matches in the Premier League season to go. You could make a decent amount of progress, honestly, moving up easily. Well, I guess where is the worst or the best that you think United can land in the season? Like, do you still have top 7, like 8, 9? Like, where do you expect them to finish if they continue, I guess, this upward trend?
I'm still cautious about, how far I think Manchester United can elevate their position. Just looking at this upcoming month of April. So along with the home and away with Lyon, and assuming we advance, there's going to be a semifinal, probably end of April, early May. We got Nottingham Forest away. We got the Manchester Derby on April 6th after that. We got Newcastle. Wolves are improving. We got Bournemouth. So we have to find a way to beat some of those teams, and that would be instrumental in finishing top 10. That's what I'm kind of aiming for at this point. I think that you just hope that, Newcastle have a bit of a cup hangover after that win against Liverpool. You have to find a way to beat Wolves at home despite their improvement. And then we'll see. Sometimes with Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, they've had a few games in the second half of the season where they've been letting in a lot of goals, but they can also score in droves too. So you never know what you're going to get there. So, yeah, I'm just going to be cautiously optimistic that there's going to be a little bit of progress at the end of the season, but the performances also have to match the results. If we're grinding out 1-0 wins and it's just Bruno Fernandes penalty kicks, that's great. I'll accept those goals. They all count the same. But at the same time, you're not going to be quite as thinking, okay, now we're ready to pencil us back in for top 6, top 5 next season, beyond.
That's fair.
Real quick question, because I know we're coming toward the end. Ivan, what's the injury update on Kabi Mainu? Like he came on the scene so well. He lit it up the world, got on the England squad. We know injury's been an issue. Will he be back this season, or is he like Amaya, where he's just out until next year?
Yeah, so that's been another frustrating factor, has been the injuries there. So the latest I can see regarding Kabi Mainu is that so there's some return date in April, but there's been no official update. So we're just hoping that his season isn't over, because he's very integral for that midfield. We thought that Ugarte would be a game changer in that midfield, but it's because we expect him and Mainu to play alongside by side. And for Mainu, I hope that he can recover fully. He's got a lot of career left in him, but we already saw in Euro 2024 he was in the England squad, and it's going to be super competitive, as it always is, to get in the England squad. And I'd like to see him there as well for the World Cup here in North America. But yeah, I'm just monitoring his situation in particular, as well as Amad Diallo. That's going to probably be a while, and it's a really shame because at points this season he was by far her best player, in definitely when Bruno was struggling.
Mainu, like I know this, like you're not supposed to do the cross gender comparisons, but Mainu reminds me so much of Lily Johannes sometimes, in that like he's the only adult in the United midfield, and he's so young. like Lily Johannes has a lot of that to her game, especially with the midfielders that Emma has called in.
Yeah, it's definitely, interesting seeing players like Mainu, Aiden Heaven, Johannes, um, you know, Lamine Yamal. Like, these are people that, like, they were born after Pokemon Generation 3 started on the GBA. Like, okay, like, this is getting real now as I'm approaching my 30th birthday in August. So this is what it feels like, this is what, I've been poking fun at my dad when we're watching, sports. Okay, I can't do that anymore.
Listen, if the next 10, 15 years is just going to be, you're going to get into that name some guys phase. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
It's
you
the
remember.
best phase. It's the best phase. Oh god. Guys naming guys.
Yeah. Nigel Reo-Coker, Stuart Holden. That's going to be awesome. Yeah.
The ultimate guy for you, Chris Wondolowski, So.
Oh yeah, Chris Wondolowski, Steven Lenhart. Those are some of the classics from
Nick
the
Lima. Missed that shot. It was right there.
Yeah.
It was right there. And that was when I was like really actually rooting for the U.S. men's national team. I don't root for them as much anymore, but it was right there. I was like, oh.
That is unfortunately the lasting memory for a lot of people with Chris Wondolowski. But for me, it will be the goal that he scored against Chicago Fire, becoming the all-time MLS goal scorer, as well as when he would show up for the high school alumni games. My brother was on the soccer team there, so I would go to some of those games, and we would go to a pizza place after, just chugging a whole beer, in front of everybody. He's just an incredible player, down to earth, and
That's awesome.
He's the heart and soul still of San Jose Earthquakes, having retired. He's still very much involved.
I love that. Well, please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
Yeah, so I do write on occasion. I have taken a bit of a hiatus on my What to Watch series, but for the summer, especially, we'll be a year out from the World Cup. I'll probably do some squad predictions for USA, for Mexico, England, Brazil, some other teams, like which players I think are on the fringes of making that World Cup roster. But mainly I am working with the Tectonic Takes podcast, so you can find us on Tectonic Takes on Blue Sky and on YouTube for San Jose Earthquakes coverage. And for Oakland Roots, I write for Roots Blogging on Roots Pod. I just finished recording with them a few nights ago, talking about the game against San Antonio and the Coliseum home opener. So I cover both the Roots and the Quakes, but the best way to follow that work, you could also just follow me as well at Ivan Ornelas 2 on Blue Sky, on X, Instagram, Ivan the Writer 95. And I'm happy to talk, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball, all sorts of sports, just connecting with people and talking about the games, the highs and lows. That's pretty much what keeps me on social media, along with my real life friends.
Hey,
Can I ask one more question
please.
real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So Oakland Roots USL Championship. USL has announced they're going to do promotion relegation. What are your thoughts? Are you a fan, or are you like, it's not going to work?
For me, some of my earliest memories in terms of learning the sport, getting into like club sides, I would pick a random team from EFL League 2 on FIFA and try to get them all the way up to the Premier League. Those types of road to glory challenges, and I would watch them on YouTube. That stuff excites me. And while I do appreciate, what MLS has done in terms of my enjoyment of the sport here locally, and if there was promotion relegation, San Jose Earthquakes have been relegated quite a few times. But I think it's good for the sport. I think there needs to be a little bit of meritocracy. And with the U.S. Open Cup, it's such an important competition. And the last few seasons, MLS teams have largely been sending their next pro sides to compete. San Jose Earthquakes hasn't been one of those teams, thankfully, but still, I feel like there has to be a reshaping of the grassroots soccer, the fan communities that USL and these other non-MLS leagues, it's a strength of theirs. So while we do fear for the possibility of relegation for any team that isn't like Louisville City, Tampa Bay Rowdies, San Antonio, those teams, that I think it's going to be an important evolution for U.S. soccer, and it's going to be a good thing.
I love that. Okay, well, I'll be in touch we do match previews for city games. It'd be nice to chat with you about the derby. So,
yeah, that's going to be a good one. And I will say some great January moves so far by Manchester City, including the, I believe, Uzbek center back Kushinov.
Let's go.
Great addition there.
The fucking legend.
The coach is loose.
All right, brother. You have a good rest of your evening.
All right, take care. Thank you for having me. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, Ivan. Nice to meet you.
Oh man, shout out to our guests, Vince, Amelia, Ivan. Next week, wonderful show for you. For the first time, hey, he has our homie Tarek on often, and now he's hopping over here. He's gonna join and kick it with some Yanks. Shout out!
We got that man staying up late,
very late. LB, but honestly, I will say
think he's on right now. I think he's practicing, getting ready, trying to make sure he's got his energy ready at this time of night.
And that's what I was gonna say. I feel like I catch him on at crazy times sometimes. Like I'll just be on YouTube and I'm like, bro, isn't it like 2 a.m.? Why is he streaming right now?
Go to bed. Ball is life. Y'all ain't know. Ball is life. What is a clock? But
that's the difference though, right? That's really the difference. We got to get up and go to work in the morning. That is work for him. That's his job.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like if we could turn this into where it was making money and we didn't have to win, right? I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not going into nobody's office. I'm gonna be right here at my computer talking sports all day, every day.
Love it. So, Crunk TV. That's what it is.
There you go. Crunk Sports. Crunk Sports.
Crunk Sports. Yeah.
Let's go. And we're also bringing on a little vroom vroom Megan coming through. It'll be nice. Shout out to her.
Oh, yeah. War Damn Eagle Megan?
Yep.
Oh, yes. All right.
And Emily Higginbotham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of sass, a lot of energy. Gonna be fighting for my life. I feel like
very red times. Big red.
Oh man! So look forward to that. It's gonna be good times. I'm very much looking forward to it. Anything else before we get out of here, show bros?
Sunday double, right? Women first, and then men in the FA Cup. So
yes.
Hopefully, City can win some matches. We'll see. I doubt it, but we'll see. You know,
bruh. Like
you talking about a double? Like, do we get any points this weekend? Just give us some points.
We get. I think the women will get at least one. The men, I want to believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
I'm over being hopeful. See, I got hopeful on the pod, and look what they did to me. Embarrassed concept, embarrassed me in front of company. So therefore, I'm not out here about to be like, woo, go City. Come on, City. Come on and do your jobs.
That third goal when passing that, I turned the shit off. Like I had all the look like a one screen at work. I had the DAZN window on the right side, did all the other work on the left side. That goal went in. Closed that window, moved all that shit back onto the right side. I was like, let me go back and do some actual work.
I was in study hall trying to be a good teacher. Like, I'm gonna watch some of the match. I'm gonna have some joy for these kids. Sandy Baltimore hit that strike, and then I say, you know what? I'm done. What am I watching for? I know what this is. I know
what movie. I know what time it is.
That's fair.
I've seen it before. It's been on Netflix. Like, I know we're gonna lose.
Yes.
So I wasn't able to watch it, but I was listening on the City.
Oh, you were
app.
listening. Okay.
Well, I saw Charlie comment first, and he was like, basically, it was one goal I think at the time. And he was like, "It's over with." He was like, "It's over with already." So I was like, "Dang, is it already?" So then I turned it on, and then I think as soon as I turned it on, they scored. So now it's 2. I'm like, ah. And then they get the third one. I was like, dang, Charlie.
He tried to warn you.
I saw
So
it
then
was
at that
coming.
point, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. Pay
It looked
attention.
like U18s out there versus the top club. Like that's how crazy it was watching them in the first 10 minutes try to build up. I was like, oh, this is not good.
There was a point I was like, please put Jess Parker on. Get Lily Murphy off this pitch, please.
Dog,
Like
Sonya's been playing possum. She could have did this every match. She didn't want
every
to.
single match. She's a
She
terrorist.
just chilled.
She's a damn
She's a terrorist. I don't like her. And I don't care if she's French or what that means, but I don't like her. Because she knew what she was doing. She had us get false hope to be like, nah, we got to run these hoes. Like, that's really what it was. Damn. I don't even want to drink. That's how fucking mad I am. I'm sober as hell. This sucks.
Exactly. Because I was like, if I start drinking, I won't stop. I won't stop until my name
Don't drink. That's not healthy. So now I'm just sitting here in sobriety, pissed off, hoping that these bets hit. That's what I need. I gotta say, go fucking Duke tonight. That's what I gotta say.
What?
Oh, he's down bad.
What?
He's down really bad.
The money talk. The money talk, man. It's great.
Hold on. Charlie.
Oh my god.
Charlie. That's like saying go United.
He like that scene in the White Lotus with Jason Isaacs in the Duke shirt and the gun to his head.
Literally, that's where I am right now. Put a fucking city crest on it. This is me right here. Come on, dog.
Oh my god.
I might do it. I don't know. What's the guy would say? Like that's how I feel. I know, Terry. This is a low for me. It's a sports low, but a life high. Life is great. Sports are trash. So we balance these things out. Because
I just never would have imagined
like truly
a Duke. And it's like rooting for United.
It's not rooting for them. It's rooting for my money. Okay, I saw an easy cash out.
I'm rooting for my bank account.
Rooting for the account. I want a little change. I want to get a little free drink tomorrow. That's all I want. Just a little something.
I'm here for that.
Hey, but it's all good. It's all good.
Oh my gosh, this is great. All right, everybody. We will see you all very soon this weekend. New episode, another week of Lit Stream. You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.